I know. How do you like that, Lindsay? I know. How do you like that, Lindsay? Nipples. Hello, everyone. Who's ready to watch Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2? I can't even say that with a straight face. I got my beautiful patrons here. This is awesome. How's everybody doing? Sweet. Can you guys hear me? Do I have the right window open here? Let me make sure. See, Dead Jester Circus says he's sexually aroused. Let me know if you guys can hear me now. I don't want to start this thing without my audio. And we'll get going. Hey, Beth, how are you doing? Holly. Did you? It said fill these nipples, right? Just want to make sure. Oh, good. Well, first off, before we get into this is my first live stream with my patrons. And you guys mean so much to me. You really do. And I'm always trying to brainstorm ideas to so that way it's not just you guys donating to a channel that does nothing for you. So I do patron requested reviews when I get around to them. But I have to apologize for that because I don't get to them as quick as I'd like to. And I think part of that is just your heart's got to be in it, Like if I give you guys a review, I want to give you the best product I possibly can. I don't want to just wing it for the sake of time. So, but I'm really excited for this. I posted 3 different choices: Halloween 2, Friday 2, or Nightmare 2. It was a tie, and I pretty much chose Nightmare 2 by default. So, I guess I got a little selfish on that one, didn't I? But Halloween 2 commentary is definitely coming because I'm gonna do a commentary for all of them. So I've already done a commentary for the new Halloween, but I'm gonna do a commentary for the rest of them. I'm gonna try to get them all done before October. But let me know if you guys have. Are you guys watching this with me? Or do you guys actually have Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 queued up? Let me know in the comments. I want to know. Cool. I have mine ready to go. And I'm going to grab my water. So hold on just a second. Let me grab my water. Oh, and let me refresh this real quick. All right, 16 of you guys watching. That's so awesome. And let me just set the ground rules here too, because I'm tripping on words. Don't feel like you have to like stay here through the. I know you guys have lives. If you need to step away, if you can only be in for 5 minutes, that's great. That's awesome. So don't feel like I'm gonna be upset if you guys leave. Okay, I'll watch this fucking movie by myself. I don't. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm serious. If you guys have to leave, don't feel like you need to stay around for me. Okay, I mean the fact that 14 of you are watching right now, that's awesome. So Brad Urkula, Norton McD, Joseph Charlesworth, Bo Tiggy, Holly Klein, Jay Nike, Beth S, Dead Jester Circus, Lori Hackney. You guys really, you're my gusto. You're my mojo. You really are. You guys make me want to just push myself farther than I've ever pushed myself with my channel. And a lot of times I'll be like doing a video and I'll be like, nope, it's not good enough. I have to make it as good as I possibly can because my patrons expect that. So I really appreciate everything you guys do. So let me know if you guys have it up and ready to go. I'm going to hit play here pretty soon. So Dustin says he can't watch along, but he's here for the chat. Okay, sweet. And as we're watching this, feel free to, just type up what you're thinking as you're watching the movie. You know, that way it'll give us some stuff to talk about. You know, I can, of course, I can try to hold my own along the way, but if you guys got something that you'd like me to mention or something that, you know, that just kind of pops in your head as you're watching it, yeah, we can all just have a nice discussion with each other. It could be really cool. So let me grab my water, and then we're going to hit play here in just a second. Pulling up. I'm watching the Blu-ray. I think Beth said she's going to be watching the VHS. I have the VHS too, but I don't. In order for me to turn on my TV over there, the Jolene would be kind of tough because I got so much crap in the way. So I'm just going to go with the old Blu-ray tonight. Let me turn that on. VHS all prepped, ready to go. Kevin Smart's doing VHS too. That's awesome, man. All right. Yep, be kind, rewind. So Dead Jester Circus, he's at work, so he can't watch it, but that's okay. I got Beth watching it. I got Kevin Smart. Holly Klein might be watching it. I like the cover of the guy that actually does all the posters for the Nightmare movies. I can't remember his name, but the Nightmare posters are probably like my favorite horror posters. I think the movie just started. I'm so unorganized. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go back to the main menu. Or maybe that's just the startup menu. Okay. I have it pulled up now. So I'm hitting Freddy's Revenge. Okay. We're on Freddy's Revenge. I'm going to hit play movie. I like the, here, I'm going to show you guys the menu of this. I like the menu. It's kind of cool. See that? Yeah, it's kind of nice. Yep, and if you look up there, you can see the Nightmare on Elm Street 2 figure. That's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to hit play now, guys, all right? I know you've been waiting for this, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, play movie. The movie is starting. I'm going to turn mine up just a little bit so I can hear. I'd like to hear a little bit of it. So tell me about you guys' day. What'd you do today? All right, we got the bus. New Line Cinema, Heron Communications, Inc., a Robert Shea production. Robert Shea, that guy really loved this franchise. You know, I think Robert Shea was pretty much the heart of the Nightmare franchise. And I think if it wasn't for Robert Shea, we probably wouldn't have had as many movies. The guy loves the freaking franchise. Starring Mark Patton, Kim Myers, who looks very much like Meryl Streep. Clu Gallagher. I always forget that Clu Gallagher's in this. But I don't think you could have cast a better guy than Mark Patton to play Jesse. You know, and I think that goes hand in hand with you know, how the story was written. So Holly's at work. Yeah, I had work today too. Did you know that the R.E. as the bus driver, the first time you saw this? Oh, the Robert Englund. No, the first time I saw this, I didn't know who... I don't even remember if I knew who played Freddy Krueger. I guess, to take you back, this is the first movie that got me into the Nightmare franchise. So that's kind of why I love it so much. And I don't remember. I think I saw the first one. You know what? I honestly don't remember. I think this might have been the first one I saw. But Mark Patton looks so innocent, sitting on that bus with his hair all calmed down. He looks like it kind of reminds me of that Van Halen video. Have you seen Junior's Grades? And he looks like Junior. So, But yeah, this is, and I'm not lying here. This sequence right here is one of my favorite horror sequences. The school bus sequence. I just remember when I was a kid, that scene really scared the living daylights out of me because it starts off just so nice and, sunny. Everybody, the kids are on the bus, they're having a good time, and then it just starts getting dark, and the bus starts speeding up, and it freaked me out. It really did. It's a very effective sequence. And it might be like my favorite opening sequence out of the whole franchise, too, actually. Yeah, driver, that's my stop. So I'm going to read some of you guys' stuff here. Brad Urkla says, pretty busy with work lately. Jay Nike says, I worked today and I played on Killer Flicks. Jay, I'm always playing on Killer Flicks, man. Beth worked outside most of the day. Beth, I need to work outside more because my yard, it's starting to pay the price. But I feel like I'm always busy with YouTube. Just either work or YouTube. It's just constant go, go, go. Bo Tiki says Budget Street. Or you could say Discount Street. Yeah, this dream sequence is amazing. And right off the bat, I think Mark Patton's performance is just top. Like, you can tell he brought his A game through this whole movie. I think he has, like, if they had, like, a horror awards for Best Actor, he would have definitely won it that year. He's one of my favorite, or at least Jesse is one of my favorite, like, horror performances. Kevin Smart says, after I saw the first Elm Street, I had a nightmare that Freddy was my bus driver. Yes, I had that nightmare too. I think a lot of people had that nightmare that Freddy was their bus driver. He was pretty damn freaky in this. And I think that's the reason why I cling on these first two. Cling on. Did I just use Star Trek lingo? The reason why I love these first two nightmares more than any of the other movies, it seems like. I gotta say 3 too, of course. But these first two I hold near and dear just because of how dark Freddy is. And I will even say, I think Freddy's even more effective in 2 than he is 1, because if you remember, he doesn't really say that much in 1. He has some creepy scenes, but I think he really goes for broke. He's balls out in part 2. So I'm going back to your comments. Botiki says the original was the first one I saw and it freaked me out. Beth says Nightmare on Elm Street was my first introduction to horror. Oh, that's awesome. Dustin Brandywee says my first nightmare was 4. Parents rented it, and I was like 5. That's cool. The fourth one's kind of like the MTV one. Holly Klein says this sequence made me scared of riding the bus. Yep, definitely. Dead Jester Circus bus opening scene is awesome. Freddy is dark as fuck in this movie. Hell yeah. Oh, here we're on the sequence right now where the bus is teetering. And, looking at it now, you can tell that, that's definitely not CGI. That's all practical effects. But you know what? It looks awesome. I appreciate the fuck out of this scene. And then there you got freaking Freddy scratching the school bus. I mean, oh, God, this scene's so awesome. It's like the ultimate nightmare. I mean, if you want to, like, kick off the movie with, just a badass nightmare sequence, look no further than part 2. Yeah. I love this. Then they're making breakfast and she's like cutting the tomatoes, and then you hear Jesse scream upstairs. Jesse's scream, Mark Patton's scream, is so funny. Okay, back to your comments. I'm going to go from the bottom up. Lori Hackney says, the scene right here with the bus hanging on by a thread creeped me out the most as a kid. Yep, I agree, Lori. Kevin Smart says, Freddy's makeup was the best in part 2, Pure Evil. Completely agree, Kevin. Completely agree. I think they got a different makeup artist to do part 2, and I think he took it a step further. Let's see. Lori says, I find the bus scene way scarier than the party scene. That's a tough one. They're both really... There's something about seeing eggs frying. It's like eggs frying and horror movies go hand in hand. You always see a mother cooking eggs in horror movies. Why do you think that is? Yeah, Clue Gallagher, pretty much the quintessential 80s dad. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. The Fu Manchus. I always wanted that cereal. But you got, looking back on it now, that is like the shittiest gift you could ever find in a cereal. But it's funny that it looks like, Freddy's Freddy's claws. But they're just like so cheap looking. But I guess that's kind of how all the prizes were in cereal. I don't. Do they still do prizes in cereal? Did they ever do prizes in cereal, or am I thinking of Cracker Jacks? What the fuck is going on? This commentary is going to go off the rails. Don't look for professionalism, okay, guys? You're not going to find it here. Egg cooking makes me think of Halloween movies. Yeah, Halloween 4. There's definitely some egg cooking going on. Now we got the introduction of Kim Myers. She did a good job in this. Is her name Lisa in this? Don't make me pull up IMDb. I will. One step away from being movie smart. IMDb. Here we go. Hold on. Or I could just type in... Yeah, just type in Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's Lisa, though. Part 2. Oh, 2. Oh, here's the baseball scene. It's just like great scene after great scene. This one's funny, too, because they end up pulling his pants off. I think this one has it's good mix of comedy, but Freddy's not the one doing the comedy. I think that's why this one works so well, because you can have comedy in a nightmare movie, but keep Freddy dark and scary, and I think that makes the kills that much more effective. You can have all your side characters, your kids, make them funny as hell, like this scene right here with the baseball. He gets hit in the head with the baseball. That's hilarious, and then he gets pantsed. I'm going to bet money that it's Lisa. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to IMDb. Yep, Lisa Weber. Lisa Weber. I got it. Kim Myers was on an episode of Seinfeld. Everybody was on an episode of Seinfeld. Now, this scene reminds me of Karate Kid. You know, when he's on the soccer field and he gets in a fight. I better turn it down a little bit. I don't want YouTube to freaking give me a copyright strike. Yeah, my plan on this is... Yeah, he just got pantsed. I wonder if they had to do multiple takes of that, so Mark Patton had to show his ass crack, like 4 times. And he had to fight the dude. Although he's a gay man, so he probably didn't mind fighting the dude. If I'm being honest. I cannot look at Grady and not think of Weird Science. That's right. He is in Weird Science, isn't he? Yep, now they're doing the push-ups. I love Weird Science. That is one of my favorite 80s movies. I mean, because I don't want to make you guys jealous or anything, but I was a teenager in the 80s, okay? And Weird Science, I wanted that computer. Every teenage boy wanted that computer that was in Weird Science. It was like a rite of passage, I guess. I don't know. I tell you, and growing up in the 80s, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Growing up in the 80s was just the best time. No cell phones. Everybody had to look at each other, give each other high five in the hallways. People would knock each other's books out of their hands. It was just really fun. But it was, like if people got in a fight in high school, they'd dust each other off, get back up, and go. Now these days, people, they'll freaking pull out a knife, pull out a gun. Who knows what's going to happen? Back then, though, I think there was just more of an atmosphere of respect. Yeah, the 80s were freaking awesome. Tina Hoven, she is one of my new patrons. Everybody say hi to Tina in the chat, please. Hi, everyone. As I mentioned in the vote, I just met Mark Patton. I'm so freaking jealous. He came to Cleveland to promote his documentary, Scream Queen. My Nightmare on Elm Street. Great guy, great film. Mark Patton is like the nicest dude. He actually, I think I sent him a friend request and he sent it back, but Lindsay posted my my little Jesse dance on Twitter or on Instagram, and I think she tagged him, or he saw. I think she tagged him, and when he saw it, he left a really nice comment. I think he said like "attack boy" or something like that, which was kind of funny. But yeah, he just seems like a really cool guy. Hey Cassie, how are you doing? Cassie's in the chat. Awesome. She says, quick question. I don't have this film on DVD. Should I rent this on Amazon? Yeah, definitely get it on Amazon. If I had this on streaming Vudu, I would actually give you my freaking password, Cassie. I'm serious, because I have like all the nightmares, or not the nightmare, the Halloweens on Vudu, and most of the Friday the 13th on Vudu. So, but yeah, rent it on Amazon. Now, Cassie, if you rent it, we are at the scene where Jesse's about to have his first dream. He drops the glass on the ground. Um, I can tell you the timestamp that we're at right now. So we're at 13 minutes. 13 minutes appropriately. Now this is kind of reminiscent of the first one, the where Nancy's walking, because he lives in Nancy's house. So I kind of like that about the second one too, is how, I always love continuity in horror movies. You give me more of the characters, give me more of the settings, even carry over the score a little bit. I think Halloween 2 does it perfect because it doesn't copy the first score. It kind of adds its own flavor. And I think Nightmare 2 does it pretty well too. It doesn't give you too much of, because it's not completely copying the first movie. It has its own style, but for continuity's sake, it carries everything over nicely. And I love that it had the balls to not give you a final girl, but a final guy in the second movie. Most horror franchises don't have the balls to do that. It took Friday like 5 movies to actually do that, or 4 movies. I guess in 4 you have like Corey Feldman and Trish, so you get Tommy and Trish in 4. So I guess that technically counts. But Nightmare, they had the balls to do it first. And I guess you can say this is unofficially like it's a gay horror movie. It's unofficially a gay horror movie. And I'm sure that gay people, men and women, they probably hold this movie near and dear, because it's not too often that you guys get a movie for yourself, a horror movie. So it's kind of cool. Freddy 2 is full of balls. It sure is, but it's full of balls. Oh, iconic scene. You got the body, I got the brain. I'm gonna turn it up. This scene is so fucking awesome. Oh god, that scene scared the crap out of me. I mean, isn't that crazy? He's literally peeling his freaking skin off of his brain. That is a nightmare. My daughter's name is Jessie. I did not name her after Jessie from Nightmare 2. Or at least that's what I'm telling you. But, yeah. Lori says, I always thought Freddy went both ways. I think he did too, if I'm being honest. So, to review. Oh, yeah. Let me turn it down. Thank you, Robert Shaw. I'm turning it down. YouTube police. Now, we're in a classroom right now, and they're playing their jokes and stuff. And yeah, this is where Jesse's like asleep. While we're going through this scene, there was something a little serious. When I did my top 10 worst slasher movies, there was I talked about Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, and I stated something about Leatherface he looked like a transvestite. And right after that, I said I have nothing against transvestites. I don't, like I said, I think all people are equal. I don't hold anybody above anybody else. That's, I was in the military for 24 years. I served with every type of person you can possibly imagine. And, when you're on the front lines, you don't care who's next to you as long as they're protecting you. But somebody in the comments took offense to that because they thought I was saying they thought I was making fun of transgender people, which I was not. That's and the way I explained it was they took Leatherface from the first movie and made him a pretty much a completely different person, and that's why that movie didn't really work for me. That's what I was trying to get at. If Leatherface would have been, a transvestite in the first movie, then that would have been fine. And I even gave examples like, not that these characters are necessarily transgender, but Buffalo Bill. There's definitely that flavor there, and I think Buffalo Bill is one of the greatest horror characters I've ever seen. Also the ending of Sleepaway Camp, that plays with genders. So of course I have nothing against people of different genders. We're all born the way we're born, and that's just it. And so to put anybody above anybody else is ridiculous. And so I apologize to that person if I offended them, but that wasn't what I meant. So now we're back on to, we're at the pool scene, and we got Lisa getting out of the pool. She looks really red. She looks really red. I think she got a little bit of sun that day, maybe. Oh, here's the bird scene. And I know behind the scenes, like Clu Gallagher, he did not like the bird at all because I guess it nicked him. Bo Tiki says he was delighted to not see Halloween 5 on my list. I'm thinking about doing another list, okay? I'm thinking about doing another top 10 worst because there's more movies that I could throw on there, Bo, and that's all I'm going to say, okay? Oh, yeah, my daughter is, she literally just got a job here in Melbourne. She just finished school. She's actually finishing school this fall, and she already got a job offer here, so she's going to be starting her life here. And yeah, she's doing great. I'm very proud of my daughter. Dustin says, so it's canon that Freddy doesn't have a skull. Yeah, he just pretty much has a brain under skin. Oh my God, guys, we got the dance. The Jesse dance scene's on. I always wondered what that thing is that he's holding. It looks like a handle, some sort of handle. I remember the behind the scenes on this. There was nothing in the script to show what exactly type of dance that he was doing. No, thank you, Beth. I already did that. And Mark Patton said, just roll the cameras. I got something in mind. And he just jumped on that bed and did his thing. So that's an actor showing up prepared. Lori says, dude, Halloween 5 is not that bad. And neither is Nightmare 5. I agree. I actually enjoy both of them, if I'm being honest. Like you said, you wore your VHS tapes out. I sure did too, Lori. I watch, matter of fact, hey, here you go. It's Halloween 5, VHS. And yeah, I had all these on VHS too back in the 90s. And yeah, I used to wear these out. If I'm watching the Thorn trilogy, I'm definitely watching part 5. It's got some really, really bad scenes in it, but it's got some pretty cool stuff in it too. So the only Halloween movie that I don't like at all is Resurrection. And even that, I could still kind of get through it. Like last time I watched it, not going to lie, I had a decent time with it. But boy, does Freddy, the character Freddy in Resurrection, boy, that, oof, drives me crazy. I can't believe 16 of you are still here. That's freaking awesome. Cassie, I'm planning on doing more vids with my daughter. She's actually coming this weekend, so maybe I can talk her into doing another. She likes doing the top 10s with me because it's not too stressful. If you guys are ever thinking about getting, I know Dead Jester Circus, he has his own YouTube channel, so he might have some advice for you too. But if you're thinking about getting in front of the camera, start with top 5s. It's a great way to to get comfortable with it. My mistake was I started my first review. You guys are gonna think I'm an idiot. My first review was Predestination. That is the dumbest thing you can ever try to review for a first review because that movie is very complex, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So now Jesse is on the bed. He's reading Nancy's diary to Lisa. And so we're connecting, connecting the dots from the first movie to this one. The Nightmare House is definitely one of the most iconic houses ever. I would love to visit it. Jay Nike says, I think Danielle Harris needs to come back in Halloween. Hell yes. I would love if Danielle Harris came back to Halloween. That's like I wanted her to come back instead of Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis had her turn. I'll give Jamie Lee Curtis credit though. She was really great in that last movie, but it's almost like Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, let me know in the comments if you think I'm stretching it here, but it's almost like she kind of looks down on Danielle Harris. Do you guys get the feeling of that? I'm going to go grab a monster when I come back. I want to see some answers in there. Folks, we got records melting up in here. Records are melting. I kid you not. Let me show you what I was... This is going to be an episode of Show and Tell, too, by the way. I can't get through any video without showing some of my horror swag. This is the It Follows vinyl. I switched it. I was listening to the Halloween 2018 soundtrack before I would review, because that's my routine. I'll listen to something while I'm getting ready to review. Now it's the It Follows soundtrack, and my God, people, get this soundtrack. It is so good. It really, like, every track is choice. It's so good. Disaster Piece, that is an awesome the guy's talented as hell. That's an awesome freaking score. Okay, so let me see. My answer for Danielle Harris. Does Jamie Lee Curtis look down on her? Let's see. Bo Tiggy says she might just want the spotlight and she knows Danielle would get her share from Halloween fans. Yeah, she would. There's a lot of Halloween fans that love Danielle Harris. And if she brought back Jamie Lloyd as a character, make it like a sequel to Halloween 4, that would be badass. I think that would be badass, and I would forgive it. I mean, because how many timelines have we had in Halloween now? At this point, do you really care? The Funhouse is a great score, Beth. Excellent score. Let's see what Dead Jester said. I don't know. I always felt like Danielle Harris had something. Not really. I always felt like it was the other way around. So Dead Jester thinks that maybe Danielle Harris has like a chip on her shoulder about Jamie Lee Curtis. Maybe. Now we got a confrontation. We're in this like hallway with Freddy and Jesse. There is definitely like this sexual tension between Freddy and Jesse. I would even say like Freddy has more chemistry with Jesse than even Nancy. Would you guys agree with that? For some reason, Beth, when I'm recording or when I'm doing like a stream or something, I have to have a monster. I don't know what it is. It's just like I need my go juice. But my rule is I don't drink more than one a day. And I know that's sad, but it's a rule. Getting those Karate Kid vibes again. That was one thing about 80s movies, High School was like a staple to 80s movies. I don't know, there was just something so fun about it. Have you guys seen those videos on YouTube of high school in the 90s? Like people had video cameras in the 90s and they're just like going through the high school and everybody's like their heads are up and they're just like laughing and enjoying, the day, and you don't see like nobody looks depressed. Okay, Cassie, let me get you a timestamp. Hold on. Okay, Cassie, we are at 27 minutes. About 27, 28 minutes. Speaking of VHS, there's prom night. And, prom night 3. I got to review that one. That's going to be a VHS review. Prom night 3. So they're doing push-ups again. He got in trouble again. And that gym teacher, he was something else. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what the gym teacher's name was. Was it I give up. I don't remember what the gym teacher's name was, but was it Mr. Weber? Maybe not. Probably not. Okay. Okay. So Dustin says, you're right to limitly. I used to down monsters left and right and regretted it. Yeah, I've seen like I used to work with guys and they would like when I was in the military, there were guys that would freaking just drink monsters all day. And luckily, I've never been the type of person to drink more than one a day because it's already unhealthy enough. So I have very little willpower, but what little willpower I do have, then, you know, I'm going to try to, that's one thing I can stick to. I only drink one a day. Oh, you're right, Beth. He was Gordy's dad. Stand by me. Oh, here's the bird scene. And Clue generally he genuinely looks scared in this scene. I know he did not like that bird at all. It freaked him out. Actually, Joseph, I do have Prom Night 2. Do I have Prom Night 2 in here? I'm trying to see. Hold on. No, he didn't send me Prom Night 2 on VHS. I got Prom Night 1 and 3. But I did review Prom Night 2. And I really like Prom Night 2, actually. Bernie, how are you doing, man? Nice to see you. So, Tina Hovind says, why does the dad blame Jesse for the exploding bird? That's a good question. You know, if you think about it, too, like through this whole movie, the dad's like on freaking Jesse's ass. And maybe some dads are like that, I think. They're just all over their kids, and they just never let up. My dad was kind of like that, too. But not too bad. But he had his days. He definitely had his days. I haven't seen Prom Night 4 yet, so I'm looking forward to that one. Dead Jester Circus said, Return of the Living Dead came out in 1984. So the first Nightmare came out in 1984. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 1984. Maybe it is 85 that Return of the Living Dead came out, but I think it's 84. Let me see. Did Bert have a question? Let me see. Hold on. Let me go back up here. No, I don't see a Bert. Okay. So we got another dream sequence happening here. This is the one. Now, if you want to point the gay finger at this movie, this is definitely the one, the scene to point it at, because he goes to the gym, he goes to the gay bar, and then he goes to the gym, and it's still very effective scenes. Very effective scenes. My Soul to Take is almost like watching a really bad remake of this film. I never thought about that. It's been a while since I've seen My Soul to Take. I'll have to get another watch. Yeah, now we're in the bar. I always call it the Blue Oyster Bar. Any Police Academy fans in here? More brains. And Jesse is like sweating his balls off. I mean, if you're going out to the club, guys, you don't want to walk in sweating. You know, you gotta at least walk in looking fresh and ready to go. You can be sweating by the end of it, but you don't want to walk in sweating. It's a bad move. There's Robert Shea playing the bartender. Robert Shea looks pretty intimidating in that scene. So there's a song called Gay Bar by Electric Six. I'll have to check that out. Robert Shea does crack me up. He can't act for shit, though. That's what Wes Craven said. So as long as you keep his mouth shut, he's fine in a scene, but they don't like him talking. Oh, Holly, okay, that's a quote from Return of the Living Dead that the dad played. Okay. You must go fresh and so clean. Yes, for the club. Yeah, yeah. When you get to the club, you gotta have the grease in your hair. Grease in your hair. What am I from the fucking 50s? You gotta have the gel in your hair. Yeah. Now, I used to go clubbing back in the early 90s. I used to go clubbing, and I would wear like this silk shirt. It's embarrassing. It's not very popular now, but that's what I would wear. I'd wear a silk shirt to the club, and I didn't dance very well, but I did dance. So Jesse's taking a shower now. He did need a shower because he was sweating pretty good. Lori Hackney says, it's the 80s. They were all coked up anyway. No one notices the sweat. Very true. Joseph says, I love that the coach makes Jesse run laps around the gym. That is great. Like, when you're writing this script, really? Like, you're going to make him run laps around the gym? It's just strange. Like, what coach? So the coach catches his student in the nightclub. And so instead of like checking on him, he makes him go to the school and he makes him run laps. Or he punishes him. If that happened today, he would probably go to jail. I kind of want that to happen to me though. Just so I have a good story to tell. Like, that'd be my nightmare. My gym coach, he made me run laps around the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning. How you guys liking this commentary? Balls are flying at his head. Can you see the symbolism? That had to... I mean, look at all those balls flying at his head. That's a lot of balls. Business in the front, party in the back. At least Coach didn't take Jesse back to his place. Very true, Tina. That it could have went a lot worse. Could have went a lot worse. It could have went Kevin Spacey. Too early? Yeah, so now we got the coach. He's being dragged. Pointing the camera again. Coach is being dragged by the jump ropes. Yes, I'm going to put the S on the end of that. And then, I better turn it. We're showing naked booty. I don't know if you guys want to see his booty anyway. Tina's on point. Let's see what Tina's saying. Hold on. Oh yeah, the because he didn't take the Jesse back to his place. Very true. Kevin Smart says this scene always confused me. Was it Jesse's dream or reality? I think it's reality. Yeah, but it is reality because the coach gets killed. That's not a way to go. That's not a way to go. And then here's that famous scene when Jesse screams and he's got the glove on. Mark Patton's scream, that should win all the awards. Kevin Smart says, this is where the original starts to be compromised. Yeah, the rules went out in the window in part 2. I mean, part 2 is definitely the most unique movie from a rules standpoint out of the whole franchise, because fuck the rules. Well, I have 2 TVs in here, Holly. One's for porn. You guys should try watching porn and a Nightmare on Elm Street movie at the same time. It's pretty crazy. So the parents are taking him up to his bed, putting him to sleep. And now the dad is installing security bars. Didn't they have security bars in the first movie, though, where they take them off and then put them back on? This movie just rolls right by, doesn't it? Cassie, I would assume that that's what you would think. 70s. Is there any other? Dustin says it's the weirdest boner. I knew this commentary was going to get rated R. It was bound to happen. Lori says, craziest porn I ever watched was Texas Chainsaw. It was so good. I sat and watched the whole thing like a regular movie. Why does Freddy want back in the real world? Wouldn't that make him powerless? That's a good question. If you want to poke holes in the plot, that is a good question. I mean, he's got more power in the dream world, so I think he was wanting to use Jesse's body for what? I have no idea. Like, once he got Jesse, or no, he was wanting to use Jesse's body as a vessel to come out into the real world. But yeah, like you said, why come out into the real world? You're vulnerable. You're exposed. I was talking to my Scream Stream guys, and we were actually thinking about seeing if we could get Mark Patton to do like a commentary on this movie with him, and we could just like kind of pick his brain throughout the movie. That could be a lot of fun. But I don't know if he'd be up for something like that. Cassie loves 70s porn. More of a Linda Lovelace type deal. So, ladies and men, Jesse has the tidy whities on. It's always so goddamn hot in his bedroom. Was it hot in the first movie in the bedroom? I don't think so. He's always sweating. There's a lot of sweat in this movie. I wonder how much sweat they had to bring into the set every day. Like buckets of sweat. Or maybe that's self-generated sweat. I don't know. So, here's the iconic, the little kids doing the 1-2 Freddy's coming for you, jumping rope. Now, when did they stop doing? Because at a point, didn't they stop doing that? I know in Freddy vs. Jason, though, they still had them, but they weren't in every movie. Like I know they didn't use them in the remake. So, Dead Jester Circus says he wants his body. Let me go back up here. Hold on. Wants his body because the McRib came back and he really wanted one. Well, I mean, wouldn't anybody come back for the McRib? And by the way, is the McRib pork? It's not beef, but I'm not willing to believe it's pork. Like, what the fuck is the McRib? Kay Parker was my lady. Okay. Oh, we're 70s. Beth has said, I found a Ron Jeremy album on Amazon with an interesting splatter design on the vinyl. What color was the splatter, Beth? Um, Holly says, is he stuffing those? Good question, Holly. You talking about the whiteys? Looks like he's packing. Well, the reason they were a bit loose, Kevin, is because of the sweat. Makes the underwear loose. Gives them air. Gallons of glycerine. I own a copy behind the green door. Botigi says he always looks like he just got out of the shower. Very true. His little sister stared on Days of Our Lives, I believe. Starred on Days of Our Lives. We got 19 watching now, guys. Not bad for a Patreon live stream. I honestly expected there to be 2 of you in here. So the fact that there's 18 of you guys right now, thank you very much. That is freaking awesome. That's just the quality of patrons that I have. You know, I literally expected maybe 3 people, because we all have lives, you know. But I wanted to spend the evening with you people, so. So now they're at the factory. I think we're back. My internet just dropped. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, I think we're back. Let me see. My internet, it can be kind of shaky sometimes. Hopefully I don't have to start this thing again. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Okay, sweet. Thank you, Holly. Okay, so yeah, right now we're still at the warehouse. You know, as far as like chemistry goes, it's interesting because you have a gay man and a heterosexual woman, and they had better chemistry than most on-screen couples. Would you guys agree with that? Like, I think Lisa and Jesse's chemistry was very strong, actually. Even like the makeout scene was pretty damn passionate between the two. And you guys notice something? Now, I don't want to get too weird for you guys or anything, but you know, back in the 80s when they would have like makeout scenes, they seemed more genuine and real. And the kisses seemed more real. And now it seems like all they do is mash faces. And maybe that's like a hygiene type thing, and maybe that's the reason they do it now. But yeah, I just noticed that, like, if you watch like any like TV shows, movies, it's just mashing faces. As shallow as that sounds, but it bothers me because it takes me out of the scene, because I don't think it's real. It feels like 2 actors, you know, and they're playing parts. It doesn't feel like 2 people that are in love or in lust with each other. And for me, when I'm watching a movie, I want everything to feel like the real thing, you know? So, I don't know. It's always bothered me. But it's a taboo subject, you know? It's kind of weird to bring up. But I guess I just have that kind of relationship with my patrons. It's weird. Want to suck face? Now, Jesse is highly stressed throughout this whole movie, as he would be. But I mean, Mark Patton maintains a level of stress like no other. Like, the guy seems like he's just about to freaking blow up throughout the whole movie. Completely pissed off. Let me check my OBS here. Oh, so I think I need to redo my chat window. Pop out chat. Yeah. here. Just updating my OBS, guys, real quick. Okay, there we go. Okay, going back to your comments here. Dustin says it's practical effect making out. Kevin Smart says Mark and Kim do a lot of conventions together. Yeah, I've seen that they do a lot of conventions together. Dead Jester Circus says she probably felt more relaxed and comfortable with him because he was gay, so there was no ulterior motives going on. That's actually a really good point. Really good point. Because I did actually hear the... Oh, we got the pool scene coming up here. I did actually hear this story. There's a documentary called That Girl from That Movie or something like that. And it's about supporting actresses in Hollywood. And they were talking about, what it's like working on set and all that stuff. And one girl, she did say that she was doing this like makeout scene with this actor. And she wouldn't say his name. She said he was a pretty well-known actor. And they were... now, on set, I know they don't make them get completely naked. They have like what's called like a cock sock. And they have like cloth over their private area. But this guy was literally, she said the guy was literally like trying to, what's the best way to put this? He was trying to put his hand where it shouldn't be. And she knew that if she spoke up or said something, she would lose her job. And so she just, kind of in a nice way grabbed his hand and pushed it away. And she said it happens. It's actually something that happens a lot more than you would think. So Dead Jester Circus brought up a good point there. A lot of these men, and this goes with the Me Too movement, a lot of these men, they take advantage of their position in Hollywood. So now that we got the scene where Lisa and Jesse, she's trying to help Jesse. He's just completely in shambles. And then they're going to start making out here in a minute. To think this role almost went to Brad Pitt. Well, I don't want to say almost went to, but I know he tried out for the role of Jesse. Christian Slater, I want to say, did too. But Mark Patton definitely deserved it. I wouldn't want it any other way. Kevin Smart says, I can't wait to see the documentary. Mark had such a promising career. He was in a movie with Cher. Yeah, and and back then, if you were an actor, you pretty much, if you were a gay actor, you had to keep that under wraps. If you came out, then it could cost you a lot of roles. And you know what? If I'm being honest, it's still kind of a thing where if you want to play a leading man, a leading straight man in movies, even today, I think it's more of an obstacle if you're a gay man to get those parts. So it's not something that's like completely, we're completely over yet. So you got this big pool party. The parents, they're, isn't that kind of weird? Like they're having this pool party and then the parents, they're going to get it on upstairs while everybody's having the pool party downstairs. I don't know. I guess it's okay. But everybody can relate to that though. When you're like at a house party and you're waiting for the parents to go to sleep and then the lights go out and everybody's like, yes. But then when the lights go out, it's not like they're going to fall asleep like immediately, right? So they can turn on this music. Wouldn't the parents get back up and say, hey, what, if you weren't allowed to have the music in the first place, why do you got it now? I don't know. So good point. Cass says, I used to prefer lap dancing for gay men and lesbians in a past life I made. Oh my God. That's a steamy scene that's going on right now. They say those scenes are awkward too because they have to like, it's like you're stuck in a room on top of each other for 4 hours. I've been on sets before because I've done extra work, and you are literally there all day, and they will like, I've been on sets where they're doing a scene that literally lasts 10 seconds. And to get everything set up, get the camera set up, get the lighting set up and everything, run through it a couple times, get the actors on set, it took a good 4 hours to get a 10-second scene done. That's that's how long the process can be. So when you're doing a scene, a makeout scene together, and you have to wait for all this stuff to get set up, that you have to do the scene over and over, and you happen to be naked in the scene, after a while they say it starts smelling because you're naked for 4 hours on a set. I mean, you might have like some underclothes on or something like that, but still. Oh, here's the scene where Jesse and Grady, he wants to stay with Grady. That's where he feels safe. Yeah, come back to the Five and Dime. I knew that's a. I think that was that a play or a movie that Mark Patton did before this? This scene, as far as practical effects go, is amazing. And this is a big reason why I love practical effects so much. And this acting by Mark Patton, I mean, that's the thing about horror movies. I don't think, I think performers in horror movies, they really have to go for it, because if they don't, the movie could fall apart. And more times than not in horror movies, you really have to project. You really have to put out a good performance. And Mark Patton's performance here is excellent, I think. It's a big reason why I love this movie so much. I mean, he goes for it. Poor Grady, though. Can you imagine that? Like, Grady's got to watch Freddy Krueger come out of his friend. Yeah, Holly, it's a great scene. Yeah, you know what? You bring up Jay. You bring up Basic Instinct. That's exactly the movie that I was talking about. They literally said that um, Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone would walk around set pretty much naked for 8 hours, 12 hours at a time, and it did start smelling on set. And I've seen interviews with like some actors, and they're like, you know what, it's sexy for at first, and then after a while you just kind of want to get out of there. You want to get your clothes on, you want to get a bath. Plus you have all these people just staring at you, and that's awkward. Now Lisa's best friend here, I know her story was like she was literally leaving Los Angeles. She's going to give up on acting, and then she got this role at like the last minute. And she still lives in Los Angeles to this day because of Nightmare Part 2. It kept her afloat, and then she kept getting acting jobs. The metamorphosis scene coming up is one of my favorites in the whole franchise. Completely agreed, did Jester Circus. Man, that scene is amazing. It's about to happen here in a minute too. Swamp ass and tank stank. Oh yeah, here's the scene. I'm gonna turn the camera on it. This is amazing. This scene. He looks like he's about to give birth. This looks painful. Look at that. Ooh. Nobody ever talks about this scene. Agreed, Beth. I think the practical effects in Nightmare 2 might be the best. I mean, if you look at Nightmare 1, now I will say the upside down sequence is amazing. Like there's some amazing sequences in the first one, the bed with Johnny Depp. But as far as like practical effects go, two's pretty damn awesome too. I can't get how people don't like this movie. I mean, this is a horror movie, and you know, in my if you notice in my like top 10 worst slashers, if you think about it, most of those slashers that are on that list, they're tame movies. You know, they didn't really go for it. I'd say about half of them, like Hellfest, and Hellfest is rated R, so it had no excuse. That drives me crazy. And then you got movies like this, where they just go for broke. Oh, Robert Englund, man, he looks so awesome in this scene. Yeah, look at him. That's so badass. Freddy eyeball in the mask. Yes, I completely agree. Is that Kajagoogoo? Cassie says, the first time I saw this, I hated it. Kay was a kid and did not get it. When I watched it as an adult, I loved it. Yeah, I've always loved Nightmare 2. Like, this is horror. Straight up, unadulterated horror. It doesn't hold back at all. And Freddy is scary as hell in part 2. I mean, look at that. It's just bloody as hell. Yeah, that's horror. I don't forgive you, Cassie. Typos are not allowed. Yeah, Beth, I agree. And I love, you know, a lot of horror movies have come around, you know, 20, 30 years later, and they find their audience. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, because there was like a time where nobody was talking about Freddy's Revenge, you know, for decades even. And then all of a sudden, I think it was Never Sleep Again. When that documentary came out, people started talking about this movie a lot more. And I even think like that section of the documentary is the most interesting when they're talking about this movie. The behind the scenes on this movie is just so interesting. Yeah, Bo Tiggy, Halloween 3, perfect example. People love Halloween 3 now. And you know what? Since we're talking about it, The Thing. The Thing was hated when it first came out. And now it's considered one of the greatest horror movies ever. This has been a lot of fun, guys. Like I could probably do this like we could do this like at least once every couple months. Maybe next time we could do Halloween 2 since Halloween 2 tied with this one. What's cool about this is like I got 17 of you guys watching and I can like interact with all 17 of you. Whereas when I'm doing my Scream streams and you got like 150 people watching, forget it. It's tough. I like it when it's more like up close and personal like this. Yeah, Halloween 2 would be great. Maybe we could do it next month. What is this? April? This is like mid-April, so like maybe mid-May we could all do Halloween 2 if you guys want. That could be fun. I wonder how exhausted Mark Patton was when he left home when he left set every day. I mean, this guy had to freaking just pour it out. That's one thing I'm gonna ask him. If I can get him to do like at least even just an interview, I'd like to ask him like, how drained were you at the end of every shoot every day? You know, at the end of every shoot, he must have been just completely exhausted. Yeah, I'm enjoying myself too, Holly. This is really fun. I don't feel like any pressure, any stress. You know, it's just chilling with my like with some good friends, and we're just watching an awesome horror movie together. Oh, here's the scene where Freddy's gonna the hot dogs start cooking. Another iconic scene coming up here. You're all my children now. Oh, there's that rolling with the homies. That's a um why am I drawing a blank? That freaking movie. Rolling with the homies. Don't say it. I'm gonna think of it in a sec. Hold on. Clueless. That's it. Clueless. I think Paul Rudd he did Clueless right after Halloween 6. Here he is again. He's just the guy. I mean, he should have got paid double time. Mark Patton earning that money. Bernie says, "Do you usually do live commentaries for?" This is the first live commentary I've done with my patrons. I tried to do one for Scream, but this was like maybe 2 years ago, or maybe year ago, something like that. I tried to do one with Scream, but I didn't have enough patrons at the time, so it ended up being me and Cody. Me and Cody were gonna do it, and we were gonna do it for the patrons. But I think I only had like probably like 20 patrons at the time, so nobody showed up, obviously. And so me and Cody are just sitting there talking about Scream together, and nobody's watching. So we decided, you know what? Let's just go live. We'll go public, and then then people started coming in. But and I wanted to wait to find because I didn't want that to happen again. So I wanted to wait a while, and that's why I waited so long to do another one. And I was gonna wait until I hit 100 patrons, but I'm really close to that now, and I passed 25,000. So I thought, you know what? I'll just go ahead and do one. I still didn't know if I was gonna get 3 people or 30 people, but 18 is more than I mean, this is perfect. So I mean, I am glad to do these like maybe once a month or something like that. These are fun, and it's just another way that I can do things on my channel with just you guys and not make it part of YouTube. Because you guys deserve this, and I'm actually having so much fun doing this. Yeah, Dead Jester, he's freaking out now. So I mean, he could easily be killed. So I like now that he's out. Does he want to go back into the dream world, or does he want to just like go to New York City or something? Yeah, Bernie, I might make this a regular thing. This is a lot of fun, and this was like an experiment, I guess, in a way to see how it would go, because I didn't know how this was going to turn out, but it's turning out great. She's trying to stab Freddy, but she's not really. I don't know. More sweat. I love you, Lisa. So he's talking like Jesse now. Yeah, like there is no comedic Freddy whatsoever here. I would wager that Robert England probably likes playing the comedic stuff more though, because it just gives him more to chew on. But I much prefer a serious Freddy. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys like a comedic Freddy? No problem, Brad. You got it, man. This is my pleasure. I'm having a blast with you guys. This pool scene's actually pretty long too. Gotta love the guy who tries to calm Freddy down and then gets killed for it. So true, Joseph. I wouldn't be that guy, I'll tell you that. This is the only time that Freddy's like been out at this level too, you know, and killed this many people at once. I mean, if you think back, like Freddy versus Jason, Freddy only kills like a couple people, I think. So Freddy kills more people in this than he does in Freddy versus Jason. A lot more. So Beth says she likes both, but partial to a darker Freddy. Holly says I like both depending on the mood. I think part 3 really has the perfect balance. Because there is some dark Freddy in part 3. Especially when like he first meets Nancy and he does that. You. That scene. I remember I saw that in the theater. And when he does that, I remember the crowd just like everybody sat up like, whoa, this movie's gonna be a badass. This is gonna be a ride. So Mikey Weiss, what's up? I hope they go this route with any reimaginings of Freddy. Jackie Earle Haley did a good job being dark, but the bad makeup and effects hindered his performance. I always defend Jackie Earle Haley, but I could have done with better makeup. I mean, he just looks like a burn victim. One kill in Freddy vs. Jason. Jesus. Yeah, because the one kill in the locker with from what's her name from American Mary, he doesn't even kill her. Jason kills her. Yeah, part 3 is definitely one of the. It's either my favorite or my second favorite. I can't. It's a tough. It's like I throw in 3 and 1 probably the most. 1, 2, and 3. All 3 of those are the ones I constantly throw in. And he just walk. I mean, can you imagine you're at a pool party, you're having a good time, and then all of a sudden this freaking dude, he looks like a burn victim, and he's got this whacked out sweater on. He gets up and he just starts freaking killing everybody, and then he like walks into this like shrub fence, and just burns everything. Oh, it's just crazy. That's what's great about Freddy. I mean, I'm the Michael guy of Scream Stream, but even I can admit Freddy is one badass horror icon. I mean, he earned it. He earned his stripes in spades. Does that make sense? Earned his stripes in spades. Freddy's just a badass, you know, and it's cool that Freddy. He's not like Jason or Michael. You know, he's got his own thing. He's in the dream world, and he gets to play. That's what's cool about Freddy. You know, he doesn't even have to walk. He could just like appear wherever he wants, and that's just fun. That's just fun to play with. Now these dogs could have done a better job on the makeup with these dogs. Let me get my I have those dogs in my NECA figure. Hold on. Yeah, Cody actually sent me this NECA figure for Christmas. Bernie says, I recognize what Dream Master is after all these years, but I still a serious soft spot for it. 1 through 4, love them all. Yeah, I like the first 5 very much, and last time I watched 5, it surprised me. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I hate Freddy's Dead. I'm not as big a fan of New Nightmare as most people are. To me, it's kind of boring. Freddy doesn't really do much for me in that one. I really enjoy Freddy vs. Jason, and I actually like the remake. So, but yeah, here's that Freddy figure, and it's got the dogs there too. Yeah, I'm trying to get the glare off of there. We are nearing the end of this, guys. They're in the factory now. And so basically, they use the whole "I'm not afraid of you" thing to beat Freddy again. You know, because she's not afraid of Freddy, then she's able to release Jesse. Yeah, Cody and I, we've been great friends for quite a while now. Actually, we respect each other quite a bit, and it's funny. Like, he'll go see a movie. Whichever one of us sees the movie first, we message each other to find out if the other one liked it. Like, I remember he went and seen Pet Sematary first, and so as soon as he got home, he messaged me, and I remember his direct quote was, "Lee, if you tell me you loved this movie, I swear to God." Because usually it's like we disagree a lot on movies, and so I pretty much told him the rest easy. I did not like the Pet Sematary remake. I didn't hate it, but it was definitely lacking. But I mean, we respect each other so much that we don't, we don't say we like something for the sake of our friendship. You know, we're definitely honest. Cassie says, "Would you guys be into a Secret Santa sort of thing? That could be fun." Dead Jetser Circus says, "4 committed the same sin as Halloween 5. It killed the best parts of the previous movie way too soon." Yeah, that's a big problem that the Nightmare movies do, actually. And the way they brought Freddy back in 4 is the laziest way, from a writing standpoint, that you could possibly bring a horror icon back. Can you imagine a Halloween movie where the way Michael Myers came back is somebody took a piss on his grave? Because that's pretty much what happened in Nightmare 4. Yeah, Secret Santa could be fun, though, actually. I like that idea, Cassie. Freddy's face looks really dark in this one in some of the scenes, too. Like, his eyes look all, I don't know. There's like sunk in. So Lisa is, she's basically telling Freddy she's not afraid of him. She wants Jesse back. I think that's the one big thing. When you got a horror icon that's that involved and that, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Just, Freddy's complex. So it's tough to write an ending to such a complex character, you know, and have it make sense. So they really, with a lot of these movies, they took a shortcut. They took the easy way out. And maybe they did that too, so it'd be easy to bring him back in the next one. Heartbreaker, what's up? Um, Heartbreaker, I don't think that's Caleb, I think. But Caleb leaves a lot of comments on my videos, and I really appreciate it. Very nice of you. He says, "I just got done with my homework. Yippee, I'm here for the stream. Lee, you're my hero. Keep doing great work. P.S. Review Riddick movies." Yeah, that's Caleb. Yeah, I love Pitch Black, actually. Chronicles of Riddick, not so much. The third one is okay, but I love Pitch Black. That movie's great. I'm definitely gonna review. I'll probably review the whole trilogy, but definitely gonna. I would definitely look forward to doing Pitch Black. So now Freddy is burning. Oh, look at these nice practical effects again, guys. Look at that. I mean, that's some great practical effects. I always love the boiler room too. Like there's something about boiler rooms and horror movies. It just works so well. Beth, this has been a blast. This has been a freaking blast. Can't thank you guys enough for showing up for this. Yeah, we're almost done with it. And after all said and done, I really enjoy Nightmare 2. It's it's an exhausting movie because of what the character Jesse goes through throughout this whole movie. But in a way, it's a good thing because he really earns it. Like he earns that title of final guy. I mean, the guy went through hell in this movie. Hail Jesse. Beth, how's that VHS holding up? I'm gonna have to get Beth to snap a pic of the screen with the VHS playing and send it to me. Holly says she's going to meet Robert Englund in August. I wonder how much his freaking autograph costs. Because when I went to Spooky Empire, I mean, the prices just keep going up and up and up. And these are celebrities that aren't near the level of Robert Englund. So I can imagine. I'm going to guess it's probably a good hundo just to get his autograph. No. Dustin, this was a lot of fun, man. I have missed, but I haven't been watching Shudder that much lately. I need to, but yeah, I've been missing Joe Bob. Yep. Now we have that fun ending on the school bus. I love this ending. This is great. You think everything's all hunky dory and everybody's smiling. I want to live in Pasadena. Yeah, you can tell that's the same street that Halloween was filmed. And you just know watching this that this is not going to end well, this scene. It's just too happy. That damn bus again. Yep. I'm trying to remember if this scene like scared me as a kid when at the end. It's a good little like sneak attack. Dead Jester Circus, thank you so much for stopping by, man. This was fun. I appreciate you watching with us. You have a good night, brother. Yeah, this ending is perfect, Ollie. I still need to see Kane Hodder's documentary. Kane Hodder was an absolute awesome guy when I met him. I mean, he was the one celebrity that like would have like a nice conversation with me. He wasn't in a hurry. And Kane Hodder's not even like near my favorite Jason. I'm a Ted White guy. Um, I see. It's like Ted White. God, I'm drawing so many blanks. Richard Brooker is my second favorite, and then probably Kane Hodder. Did I just miss that? I wasn't looking at the screen. Damn it! I gotta back it up so I can see that scene. Hold on. I'm gonna back it up. I have to see that scene. Here we go. Here we go. Did you guys see it? Did you guys get to see the hand come out of her chest? It's okay. That's great. Hey, you know what? It's a much better ending than the first movie. That looked cheesy as hell in the first movie. It's like the mom blow up doll gets pulled through the top window. I wonder where they like planned on. Like, I wonder if they had a trajectory of where they wanted to go after this movie, or if it was just kind of a one and done type deal. I'd be curious to see where they planned on taking the series after this before they got to Dream Warriors. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, guys. A lot of fun. I can't believe it's over already. That was cool. Kevin Smart, Holly Klein, Kathy, Bo Tiggy, Beth, Dustin, Dead Jester Circus, Joseph, J Nike. Is it Nike or Nike? I think it's Nike. Okay. Yeah, all you fine people. Thank you so much for doing this with me. This was awesome. Joe Bob Briggs watches Pieces on Shudder. Oh, I gotta see that. Brad Urkela. Pieces. If you haven't seen Pieces, guys, definitely buy it. Just don't even rent it. Buy it. It's so good. But yeah, guys, this was a lot of fun. I'll probably make this public after so people can see what they're missing. Rub it in their faces that we had such a great time with each other. But before I go, let me know. Are you guys heading to bed now? What are you doing for the rest of the night? Are you going to make a ham sandwich? What are you doing? Let me know. No problem, Mikey. Yeah, I posted the link on Killer Flicks too. If anybody from Killer Flicks wanted to jump in with us, I didn't think you guys would mind that. So yeah. Tina, well, Tina is our newest Drumdums patron. So you came at the right time, Tina. Thank you for joining us. This was a lot of fun. So Lori's heading back to work. Make them want to be patrons. Exactly. For me, this was just such a good time. It really was. Like I said, there was like no stress. I had just to talk to people that really want to be here too. Like you guys really, you support me, and I appreciate you guys so much. And I don't know, I just feel closer to my patrons than I do like anybody else. So it's cool. But yeah, next month we'll do Halloween 2, guys. All right, I'm calling it right now. Mikey's making a breakfast. I know Mikey. He works out. He's a very healthy person, so he's probably having a very healthy breakfast. I actually had breakfast dinner tonight. I made bacon and eggs and biscuits, and it was delicious. Jay's going to bed soon. Get up at 3:30 every morning. Jesus, man, awesome, Jay. Good on you, man. Just waiting to take out some Elder Scrolls. Cool. Don't want to speak too soon, but I do believe you just got yourself a new patron, brother. Oh, no. Thanks, Bernie. That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. But Beth's internet's about to give out. Beth, you have a good night. I guess we're going to shut it down here, people. But thank you guys for showing up. I mean, most of you pretty much stayed the whole time, too, which I think is awesome. So now I'm definitely doing a Halloween 2 with you guys next month, okay? So anyway, I'm gonna call it, and this was a lot of fun. So guys, thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great night, and I hope you have a great what is it today, Wednesday? So yeah, I hope you have a great weekend that's coming up pretty soon. So anyway, guys, you guys have a good night. Thank you, patrons. This was a lot of fun.